We're excited to have everyone on board for this webinar. We're excited to talk sponsored brands video. Got some experts on the panel here to share different information. We feel pretty much no matter whether or not you're an expert, you're brand new to the sponsored brands video ad unit, you're going to get a lot of value from today's session. We'll get progressively more advanced as we walk through it, and we want to make sure that everyone feels like they're getting something from it. We definitely also want to encourage questions. So I will be able to see if anyone's asking questions through the Q&A button on Zoom. So definitely feel free to ask those. And as we're going through them, we'll pepper in those questions while we go through everyone's content. Cool, let's jump into it. So first and foremost, let's introduce the speakers. So I'll start off with Patrick and I from Perpetua. So brief introduction to Perpetua. We're an analytics and optimizations tool for Amazon advertising. What we've always been trying to do is to allow you to combine the power of human direction with always-on optimizations and AI to drive incredible results on Amazon ads. And then I'll give the BetterAMS team a second here to introduce themselves as well. If you guys have followed their content at all on LinkedIn, you'll see that they're also doing amazing things for their clients and really driving awesome results.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you so much for that. We are super excited to be here. For those of you who aren't aware, we at BetterAMS are just strictly focused on everything Amazon advertising. We do full management. I am the co-founder of BetterAMS, and I actually have our senior executive account manager, Gabriel, on here as well, who is absolutely incredible. And he will really be diving into some of the intricacies of, using your data for video and search.
Awesome. All right, so what are we going to go through? So as I said, we're going to start off basic and we'll get progressively more advanced. And the way that we want to walk through it is to first give you an understanding of what the sponsored brands video ad unit is, if you are new to the ad unit, and then we'll talk through both building a video, best practices there, taking existing data from your sponsored product and sponsored brand campaigns that you're currently running, and then how to go ahead, build those campaigns to see the best results overall. And then of course, we'll wrap it up with some key takeaways and move from there. So first off, ad unit basics. So this is just kind of a 101. So it's served both on desktop and mobile. Right now it's at the bottom of search. So if you've been an experienced user of sponsored brand video, you'll probably remember when it was just on mobile, then it came to desktop. You may have seen some sporadic placement other than bottom of search. We definitely think that placement is going to continue to improve over time and continue to be experimented with. Other important things to know, you can only promote one ASIN in a sponsored brand video campaign, so different from sponsored products and sponsored brands, certainly. It's available only for accounts with brand registry, and right now it's only in the US. So we've got some insights that might be coming to some European countries soon, and then continuing to roll out, but right now it's only for the US. And there's no minimum spend to access. So you may have heard of the ad unit earlier when there was a minimum spend to access it when it was in its beta. But right now, there's no minimum spend. Any budget will do to run sponsored brands video. So best practices for video creation. So first and foremost, ensure your video is built to drive conversion on the keyword that you're targeting. So I think this goes hand in hand with much of what you do on sponsored products and sponsored brands, but it really goes to the next level when you're building a video. So similarly, if you were promoting a product and you're running a video ad, you wouldn't want to necessarily highlight something like a discount of your product if someone's searching a very generic category search term that maybe doesn't even have them narrowed down to actually finding your product yet. So you really want to be responsive to the place in the purchase funnel where your shopper is and use that when you're building your video. Sub 30 seconds always recommended. We've seen kind of a sweet spot between 10 and 15 seconds for our clients, but definitely sub 30. Include text in your videos because many users will have volume toggled off. It's toggled off by default. So certainly ensure that you're including text where you see fit. And then remember that your ad's going to run on loop. So you want to make sure that at the end of your video, it's built for a seamless transition to the start of your video once again. So what have we done at Perpetua really to help anyone who's trying to build video ads for Amazon? So I think one of the biggest things to note is that we're trying to democratize the availability of video ads so that you can take any ASIN and you can build a video right on Perpetua's tool. So I think we shock a lot of people every time that we're talking about it, that yes, you can go on to Perpetua, you can build within a minute a video ad right there and then launch it into a sponsored brand video campaign. We've got free themes that we've built. You can add in your name, your product name, images, copy, etc., music, and then launch directly from there. And then in true Perpetua fashion, we're definitely always trying to build in the artificial intelligence component of it as well. So these free themes that we've built have taken into account plenty of data that we've seen on where product images should go, where copy should go, et cetera. So they're really built for conversion. And then we're really setting the table to allow people to A/B test in the future to find out exactly what works and what may not work for them as they move forward. So next, I'm going to pass it off to Patrick. He's going to start sharing his screen in a moment, and he's going to talk through a little bit more about how you can take your existing sponsored data, sponsored advertising data, and then use that to be building your sponsored brand video campaigns.
Thank you, Joseph. So obviously, given the nascency of sponsored brand video as an ad unit and people, just starting to use this ad unit, you probably don't have a lot of data to begin your campaigns with. So I want to give a couple of tips and tricks about using existing data from your sponsored product ads and what we've seen with a couple of clients in terms of sponsored product data versus our sponsored brand data on the same keywords to inform you how and when you should be using keywords from sponsored product in your sponsored brand video ads. So jumping forward here, this is just a quick example. We actually do not work with this brand, but I love their product and it's one of my favorite brands to demo. So in your sponsored product data, you're gonna have all the keywords you've historically been bidding on. We have seen that there is not one bad category of keyword to be using in sponsored brand video. You may have tested with sponsored product ads, sponsored brand ads, and not seen the best results with keywords. But again, because of how new sponsored brand video is, there is a very high possibility that that keyword is all of a sudden a really good performer for your video, regardless of its past performance in sponsored product or sponsored brand ads. So we're recommending any ideas, any keywords you've been using in the past to at least experiment with in your sponsored brand videos. So here I'm going to go over two companies that we work with. One is in the skincare space and the other is in the supplement space, both of different sizes. But they have been running videos for a few months. And I just wanted to compare a couple of their biggest keywords across these two ad units. So for the sake of keeping them somewhat private, I just included a pimple category keyword, so their best keyword for category, as well as one of their competitor keywords, who is a very known competitor in the space and has very expensive competitive keywords. So here is some data on the category keyword. So here, some very, very interesting takeaways is one, CPC significantly lower, almost 40% lower. Click-through rate about half, but still up there. And then conversion rate about the same. So something you'll notice here is that the sponsored product ads actually come on and off because it's so competitive that some days, their bids just aren't high enough to be winning. Other people come and start bidding higher, et cetera, where video ads have been consistent throughout the month. And then you see, again, just cheaper and almost equal conversion. So for such a high search frequency rank, it's really awesome to see the video competing, even though, as Joseph mentioned, it's bottom of search. Here is a competitor keyword. So this is them bidding directly on a competitor's branded name plus the product name. So you can see with sponsored product ads, extremely low conversion, pretty low CPC because it's really tough to win top of search on that competitive keyword. So we actually see a higher CPC, but almost 4x the conversion rate. So when you're thinking about how do I win market share from competitors or get people to try my product, just shows you how powerful video is, where it's converting at 4 times what it is on the sponsored product ads. Jumping forward, this is the supplement company. So I left the detox in because it's so generic and such a high frequency rank, probably in the hundreds of thousands, if not millions of searches a week. And then another generic category keyword. You'll see that the data is consistent with what we saw with the skincare company. So extremely low CPC, again, almost 40% cheaper than sponsored product ads. Again, slightly lower click-through rate, but conversion rate really hovering close to sponsored product ads. Something, again, really interesting and really important to leverage. And then again, exact same with this other category keyword. So here, again, CPC almost 60% cheaper here, where conversion is the same. So when you're thinking about, hey, maybe this keyword was too expensive in my sponsored product ad or my sponsored brand ad, there's never a bad reason to test these. And I actually want to hand it off now to Destaney, who's going to teach you how to, take these keywords and scale them in a very quantifiable way.
Hey, Patrick, we had one question come in just now.
Mhm.
Basically, the question summarizes as, is it fair to say that the first mover advantage for sponsored brands video still very much exists?
Definitely. I think something that you're seeing is not everyone has video content. People who may be top sellers in certain categories haven't had the time, money, or effort to actually launch these videos. So I'm sure everyone who's watching, you could go to 1, 5, 10 of your competitors' keyword pages and see that, on their search results page, there are no videos. So that's just a perfect opportunity to get your name, get your product out there, and win market share where people are looking. There's spots there. You just got to take them.
Cool.
So I'm going to stop my share here.
Awesome. You guys got my screen? Oh,
I don't think so.
all right.
Now we do.
Perfect.
Awesome. So I really wanted to dive in how you scale video ads. So we have the data proving it's amazing. We have the videography in place now through Perpetua to make it so much easier to handle this at scale. So now, how do we implement this across keywords, across targeting, across all of our products? Well, first thing I want to kind of hit on is a few misconceptions with video and search. One is that it's not that scalable because, again, impressions were extremely minimum when it was only rolled out on mobile and there was a $35,000 minimum. Now we have much more impressions and we kind of know this is the future direction of Amazon advertising. More branding, more brand awareness, and more ability to run these ads, hopefully off platform, and to really see where we can take them. So how we, BetterAMS, utilizes these at scale. Let me move my little window here and go back. All right, top tips for scaling. So invest in your keyword research. At its core, it's still an Amazon advertising ad type that's based off keywords and bid management. So, everything you have on the sponsor product, sponsor brand side can be reinvested in video and search, which is less competitive as we saw in the data. And if you implement strong bid management, you can make even your top of the funnel, really, really expensive ranking keywords profitable with both proper bid management, proper keyword research. So a few things we want to do is split test keyword alignment with all the different creatives and the videography we have, which Perpetua allows us to do that. We want to create multiple campaigns for different targeting, which just allows us to be more scalable rather than throwing 1 to 200 keywords in a campaign, hoping it performs well, and then not being able to increase the budget because our profitability is not fantastic. We want to utilize micro-targeting to make that better. Using our search and report data across all 3 ad types: sponsor products, sponsor brands, video. So pull our search term reports, and we're going to dive in deep with that with Gabriel. And then targeting top of the funnel traffic and competitive keywords to gain new market share. So we kind of touched on this earlier, but video and search gives us a really great competitive advantage to increase that click-through rate and increase that conversion rate, which makes us more able to play in those really expensive keywords. Because 1, your competitors probably aren't rolling out videos at scale yet. And 2, if we win that inventory and a consumer does click, it's still a PPC model. So they're more likely to click on the commercial and convert. So absolutely fantastic to test video and search. And how we personally utilize these strategies and the organization of these strategies. Structure is extremely important when you begin scaling, just because there are so many different strategies that can be utilized just for video and search and just for a single ASIN. So the biggest thing to kind of call out is it is a single ASIN landing page. It's not driving to a store page or anything else. So if your video is specifically for that ASIN, we always put, the product identifier in the very beginning of the campaign name, followed up with video and search, and then we put the we're targeting within the campaign name. So that way we know how to control the budget strictly from Campaign Manager. But a few of those we look at is a strategy around our ranking, our indexation keywords. So all of those top keywords that you really invested in for SEO, things like that, we put those in their own campaign so we can specifically control the budget. If it's investing in rank and indexation, we're probably more likely to invest in a higher ACOS. And we're going to understand that because we're going to be able to see the campaign name as ranking. we're gonna know those keywords are probably gonna be more expensive, so we can control our budget just for that. Now we do the same thing with branded. Branded keywords are probably gonna be a slightly lower ACOS, and we probably don't wanna give 100% of our budget, being distributed strictly to branded. So we wanna have direct control over those and the conversion and spend going to those. Same thing, competitor targeting, brand analytics, search term report data. If we utilize, competitor analysis and pull all of our competitor brand names, we want those to be in their own campaign just so we can control just how well we convert on those. One other big call out is that top of the funnel traffic. So if we sell metal cups, video and search is a great opportunity to win new market share by targeting, keywords like cups or kitchenware, things like that. Because again, if a consumer types in kitchenware and they're not interested in your cups, they're probably not going to click on a full video or sit there and watch it unless, they're having some type of purchase intent because they saw all the great benefits in your video, things like that. But again, we want to put them in their own campaign so we can control that budget, because if we're going to be having that top of the funnel traffic, we're not going to convert as well. So we don't want to give it $1,000 a day budget. Maybe we want to give it $10 a day. So we're still getting that brand awareness, winning new market share, but we're not hemorrhaging money on it. The last big thing is utilizing all the data we do have already from sponsored products and sponsored brands. And that just comes with search term report analysis, which Gabriel is going to be hopping into with some live examples of what that looks like.
Destaney, one question that we had come in. So when it comes to the split between maybe branded category and competitor keywords, do you see that the metrics are very different for sponsored brand video versus sponsored products? Or can you pretty much expect similar type relations between those three?
We have seen quite a bit of a difference. For one of our largest accounts, that's the main focus has been on video and search. We've seen upwards of like 100% ACOS when we start bidding on their ranking keywords and sponsored products. But in video and search, we're seeing a 50% ACOS. And our target ACOS for this brand is 80%. Like their whole goal is to win as much new market share as possible. So the fact that we're able to cut it in half, but being like that aggressive, I'm like $3 bids, extremely top of the funnel, and we're still seeing that low of an ACOS. So definitely a big difference.
That's awesome. It's amazing.
Awesome. And stop screen share. Good to go, Gabriel.
Thank you, Destaney. So I'm going to go into how to utilize your search term reports. We already talked about how important it is to have a cool video, how important it is to surprise the customer in those first 1 to 10 seconds that we got, and how we should structure the campaigns. But we're also able to extract data from a sponsored brand's video customer search term report. Converting buyer search terms from the search term report can be our primary source of keyword harvesting for these kind of ads to be more precise with keyword targeting. This is data I pulled from a client. Over the last month, we got 3,000 orders, 8,000 clicks, and conversion rate was very similar to Perpetua's metrics, which was at 41%. We got 38% conversion rate. It's a huge conversion rate for paid advertising. If you compare it to Google, if you compare it to Facebook, if you compare it to other ad units on the Amazon space, this conversion rate is a lot different and a lot better. How would we do keyword harvesting for sponsored brands video? We need to analyze and segment new buyer search terms so that we can get more sales and expand our keyword directory. While we get more sales with more keywords, we will be able to lower the ACOS on the mid or long term, right? So in this particular case, we are targeting 489 different keywords for sponsored brands video. We were able to get we were able to convert on 1,444 different buyer search terms. So we found new keywords, right? We found 955 different new keywords. And we got 955 new keywords we can use and split and test in different campaigns. So I have this part right here, which says segmentation of new customer search terms pulled from sponsored brands video reports. This is a way we can separate new customer search terms from existing keywords so that we can start bidding exactly on these customer search terms using the 3 different match types. So basically what we need to do is just download those search term report for sponsored brands video over the last 60 days or 30 days, and insert a column in that report between I and J column in this particular report, and paste the deduplication formula. Basically, what the deduplication formula will do is just tell us if we are already bidding or converting on that keyword, or if we're not. And we will just then filter by unique rows, and we will be ready to launch new keywords after that filter. And these are overall BetterAMS results with sponsored brands video so far. Very similar to Perpetua. So our average CPC is $1 with 1 cent. Our average CDR is 0.51%. Our average ACOS is 33.92%. The average ROAS is $2.95. The average conversion rate sits at 37.71%. We have gathered 11 million impressions, almost 12 million impressions, a total of 19,000 orders. We have spent $109,000 in sponsored brands video specifically, and we have got $323,000 in sales from sponsored brands video. And that's it. I'm gonna stop sharing my screen so that Patrick can take the lead on the general takeaways.
Awesome. Yeah, so just some final general wrap-ups before the Q&A. Something that just summarizes everything we've talked about is that conversion rates are higher on sponsored brand video than sponsored product ads, something that everyone here touched on and really want to emphasize. CPCs are much lower on category competitive keywords, and there's a lot of potential to be conquesting competitors because of stronger engagement than sponsored product or sponsored brand ads. And then lastly, as Destaney touched on, top of funnel marketing is very, very effective, and you can be a lot cheaper on broader category keywords that might not be directly correlated or directly explicit to your product, but correlated in terms of complementary or substitute products. And something, that I think all of us here would say is launch videos today. There's really no downside. First mover advantage is so big. So I know we would love to help you guys launch videos with our platform. And I'm sure Gabe and Destaney would be more than happy to talk to anyone about leveraging SBV with your existing accounts today. So with that said, I'll leave it to JLS now, Joseph there, to share his screen and do any Q&As.
Just move it over to one more slide. We'll just leave it on the Q&A slide. We've got a few here. I'm just gonna ask them, and then whoever feels like answering them can fire away. So we had one come in here saying, should I try and test many different videos for one product? Maybe a specific video for branded keywords versus category.
Yeah, so I'll hop in here real quick. I think this is a great opportunity if someone's searching your brand to cross-sell and really try to increase your basket quantity. So what we've kind of seen is, ads that have the side for the that was potentially aligned with the branded keyword, but then showing an array of some of your other products that can maybe be purchased in correlation with that product. So, it's an extra expense to have to create another video, and I don't know if that makes sense from a cash flow perspective, but it is a great opportunity to really drive home your brand story, and you don't need to sell them on the competitive advantage as much. So you can really use that 15 seconds for other purpose. Versus your, category targeting where you really want to drive home some of those competitive advantages of what makes your product better.
Awesome. Another one here. So if I'm winning the sponsored brand placement right now on any given search term, should I invest in sponsored brands video as well?
Yes. I will 100% say yes all day, every day. As we've all kind of touched on, videos have been open since October. And you need to get that data collection now because it's only going to grow stronger. And then in general, if you're not running that video ad, there's a good chance someone else is or will. And you're just going to lose that placement and you're going to lose that opportunity, for market share. Another thing is it's two different inventory placements, top of search versus, mid search. So I would definitely recommend still running both.
Awesome.
And seeing at the data, it's a no-brainer to do it. 37 to 41 conversion rates, just start rolling.
Yeah.
Cool, cool. So we got another one here. I think this one's probably specifically for the BetterAMS team because I think it relates to some of the content you guys shared. So we got a question asking to please explain specifically what implement strong bid management means in practice. For example, with the ranking campaign, does this mean always staying at the top end of the suggested bid range?
Yeah, that's a fantastic question. So that's kind of two different scenarios there. But for a ranking campaign, you know, the whole goal is to get as many conversions as possible with your top keywords. So we personally run, you know, video and search ranking campaigns a little different in that we don't want to just stay at the top of the suggested. We want to make sure we're winning that placement as often as possible, as long as it aligns with, you know, our profitability goals. So 100%, you know, ranking campaign is trying to win for those top keywords. But in general, implement strong bid management is from a profitability standpoint. You can make the majority of, you know, keywords profitable, even if they're not too relevant with proper bid management. So for example, if we're bidding on one of those extremely top of the funnel keywords, like we've all kind of mentioned, you have opportunity for, if we're bidding on it at a $3 bid, you know, we may not be that profitable. But if you lower your bid and run the bid formulas and utilize the software that we've all kind of mentioned, then there's a great opportunity to be still profitable, even though you're targeting that really top of the funnel, highly competitive traffic.
Cool. Awesome. Awesome. This next question sounds like it comes from someone who's had some trouble getting videos approved on Amazon. So probably best for Patrick to answer this one. Does the Perpetua video creator have themes that are already approved by Amazon?
Yeah, so all of our themes were built with the Amazon guidelines in kind of in thought. So our videos that get pushed through the Amazon API do tend to get approved slightly quicker. They definitely still review the value props and text that you're including, as well as the images. But we generally see our launch times about 1/3 compared to pushing them out manually.
Awesome. Awesome.
Something else I'll kind of mention to touch on that for people that are having issues is Amazon recently changed the policy where you don't need to have audio. So it kind of opens up the window for people to utilize other opportunities rather than just having to do a professional videographer with incredible audio.
Awesome. And I think specifically related to that, this next question asks, is there a resource that provides the requirements for these video ads, the file type, the length, the format, etc.?
Yes. I could probably post a screenshot in the chat really quick if that's easiest. Or we could just share it.
Yeah, I think we could probably share it afterwards. Well, I think that was a good set of Q&A. We don't have any others right now, which is pretty much perfect. We're right at 1:28 at least Eastern time, so right at our 30-minute mark. So thanks definitely everyone for joining. We really enjoyed your engagement. We're happy to share all the content that we had, and we're more than excited to connect with anyone who would like to after the call.